actually build up inside this thing and cause a clog. Now, when that clog happens, all of a sudden you end up with alcohol with no outlet, and that makes it become a pressure vessel. And we all know what happens on Mythbusters when a pressure vessel fails. How am I going to induce that clog in the skin? A simple half-inch copper cap soldered to the only outlet for the alcohol. That's perfect. Now, once we've eliminated its outlet and started to heat it up, it will find its own way out.
I'm good. Oh, you don't want any? Loser!
Hey, I am trying to record a video.
Yeah, I'm on Roblox. Is that gay? Did you just kick me?
Yeah, I did.
Eric agrees with me. Roblox is dumb.
Okay, so.
You're dumb.
Hey,
No.
what are we doing? What do you want? What do you think?
Taco.
Taco?
Yeah.
Alright. Do you want some?
Hold on, I gotta warm this up. I get them blonde.
Do you want some stuff? This one? You want to get me the fake spoon?
The fake spoon.
You knew what I meant, though, didn't you?
Put the phone down, crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I told her she's recording a video.
Not bad.
Well, the color is there.
I don't know if
No,
I'll
she's
mess it up.
holding
I could.
She's recording a video.
Is there any spoons
Oh,
left?
me don't. Don't kick me in the stomach.
Two should be good.
Did she come here? She's not wrong.
Tell me when. One more?
No more.
Now, I got
Dumb decisions.
a mess going on.
Time to see which liquor is quicker.
St. George Distillery has been kind enough to make us a full range of different fruit moonshine for our experiment today. We have 150, 170, and 192, which we've been using in our previous experiment.
So here's how this test is going to go. We're going to start here at the start line. And I'm going to stomp on the gas as soon as Tori says, go for it. Well, Tom, how long it takes to get up to 60 miles an hour? When I get there, I'll say, stop. 6.9 seconds. We're going to average that 3 times in a row for each proof. The proof that has the fastest time is the winner.
So first the car is drained of gas and then liquored up with the 151 proof.
Come on, Bobby Joe! The cops are on the tail. We gotta get out of here.
3, 2, 1, go! Go!
We're having technical difficulties.
Go!
All right, here we go. He doesn't like it.
It seems the 151 is literally a non-starter.
We gotta get to the still before the police show up.
And despite an attempted bump start, it's all systems no.
I don't think this is how the moonshiners do it. All right, I think we should just call it.
I don't have the energy to continue with this test.
There's no way we're ever getting up to 60 or even 5.
Sorry, I couldn't push that fast.
Next, they raise the bar, draining the 151 and refueling with the 170 proof. But will this white lightning be lightning fast? Well, it's a little sluggish off the line.
19.5 seconds, 22 seconds, 16.7 seconds to get us to 60 miles an hour on 173.
Excellent.
With an average of 19.4, there's still room for improvement. So can the 96% ethanol 192 proof power to victory?
I'm not driving.
Okay, guys, this is Moonshine Run 0 to 60 test with 192 proof in 3, 2, 1, go! Let's go!
9.65 seconds, 8.94 seconds, 9.78 seconds to get up to 60 miles an hour.
And clearly, off the line, the 192 is the quicker liquor.
So it turns out 192 proof moonshine worked best in our vehicle. Now that we have our moonshine and we have our best vehicle, it's time to put it up against gasoline.
It's the Mythbusters Moonshine Happy Hour. And there's still more thrills and spills to come.
That totally didn't work out like I was hoping. My school's failure mode was less catastrophic and more, shall we say, melty than I was hoping for.
Yeah, yours still got a slow leak that was feeding the fire underneath. Mine didn't have that problem. It had an internal electric heating element.
Right. So in theory, yours still could keep on leaking, and there's no ready ignition source to take care of that gas.
Oh yeah, and then the fumes would just keep building up until you had the perfect explosive fuel air mix.
And then, if you get like a short circuit or a spark or a moonshiner lighting a cigarette,
Boom.
It's an altogether different kind of failure. But historically, igniting rooms full of flammable
Leo, you're
gas
killing me,
and
not for
releasing
false.
and hydrogen is a lot harder than you'd think.
See, the problem is that the worst thing that can happen when you have a chamber full of flammable gas and air is nothing. If it doesn't ignite, nobody wants to go near that thing. It's a dangerous.
You want to watch the Simpsons special of Mythbusters? Sure. What?
Just got grounded.
That movie was fantastic, so fantastic. I sat there, watched it by myself, didn't even have the dog in there to talk to. Like, it was such a good time.
Seen it?
Oh,
Definitely no. Boring. So many channels, nothing's on.
Welcome to Myth Crackers.
That was fun being on that show. What was it we were trying to prove again?
Don't know, don't care. You know, I was thinking, if we did their show, shouldn't they do our show?
The Simpsons special.
Absolutely.
This is gonna be all animated like the Simpsons.
Hey,
Who's this?
it's Al G.
Okay. Hi, Al. Pleased to meet you.
Jamie, it's Al G.
I'm sorry.
The executive producer and the showrunner of the best animated series ever and the longest running scripted show on television, The Simpsons.
Oh, The Simpsons. Welcome, Al.
If you were thinking South Park.
So, are we going to be animating?
No, look, their writing staff is packed with science and math geeks, right?
110%.
And they try and hold to the laws of physics, right?
Yeah. Conservation of mass, it's the law.
Ish. We're gonna do a couple stories from The Simpsons.
Like what?
Okay, we've got one where Bart throws a lit cherry bomb into the sewer system of the school and turns all of the toilets in the school into geysers.
My favorite episodes, The Grapes of Wrath.
Okay, that works. What else?
We have another one where Homer protects his house from a 5,000-pound wrecking ball by putting his body between the wrecking ball and the house.
So, cartoon physics in the real world.
That's Jamie excited.
He's excited to get out of this room.
Yeah, probably. And Now, it's one thing to look at physics from the movie world and see how realistic they are in the real world. It's another entirely to try that with a cartoon. And in investigating Homer versus the Wrecking Ball, Jamie's tackling the Wrecking Ball, and I got to build a full-size Homer with all the same dimensions, body mass, and water content as if Homer was a real person.
Yep, to determine the kinetic energy implications of Homer's heroic intervention, the size and mass of the key animated elements have to be accurately translated from Springfield to the real world.
So, Al, we really strive to be as accurate as possible on this show.
So I'm hoping you can supply us with some real-world dimensions of Homer. Lights. How tall is it?
Well, you have to be really accurate. 5'11", and that's what the animators always use.
What about his shoe size?
11.5.
Those are almost exactly my dimensions.
Well, the good news for you is you have less stomach and more hair.
Speaking of his stomach, how much does Homer actually weigh?
Well, about 240, but we think 239 is funnier. So 239.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is Homer Simpson, full size. Al, thank you so much. I'm going to leave you alone with the donuts. Is that okay?
They'll be going on your bag.
Donuts. Armed with Homer's exact specs, Adam commences the construction of an animated American icon. USA! USA! Starting with upholstery foam,
That's pretty good.
and Adam utilizes a method with familiar, family-friendly results.
This technique that I'm using of gluing an open cell urethane foam to itself is referred to as additive foam building. Because instead of like casting and mold making the flexible foam, I'm physically building the parts that I need out of sheet foam. What you might not know, this is how all your Muppets were made. Yep. Same technique.
There we go. Do I look like Homer at all? Hi.
The arms starting to take shape, it's onto Homer's famously tubby torso.
1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Doesn't look like much, but that's going to be Homer soon.
A series of cylindrical discs glued together form the tapered shape.
Yeah!
The human-like mass and density will come later. For now, Adam's immersed in his art.
I know exactly what it feels like to be Michelangelo. Well, maybe not exactly, but just like a little bit. If he carved in foam, he'd make cartoon characters.
This is what we call a shop shower.
Next, the arms are attached to shoulder joints. And the legs are measured, cut, and positioned on the posterior.
That's it, ladies and gentlemen.
And with those foam pieces of the puzzle in place,
All right, I'm pretty happy with that. That's looking a lot like Homer.
Adam heads out for help with Homer's head.
This is the center of what used to be Industrial Light Magic. And behind that blue door is legendary machinist Merritt Cheney, who built armatures for the stop-motion films Nightmare Before Christmas and a million other movies, and he is going to help us get Homer's head screwed on right. So, Merritt, how's this going to work?
So we've taken your model of Homer's head, I've converted it into a machinable file, and I've cut it up into like 8 chunks.
That is cool.
And they all fit together kind of like a three-dimensional puzzle.
And that 8-piece puzzle will form a central cavity, a negative space mold of Homer's ironically large cranium.
So there you go. That is mold block number 1, comprising the bottom left side of Homer's face, the front part. That's number 1 of 8.
While Adam waits for all 8, the Heineman has been concocting an ingenious plan.
In the cartoon, Homer appears to be on a wrecking ball that's about as tall as he is. And because it's so much larger than a real-world wrecking ball, I've got to make my own. And that's not exactly an easy task. But I've got an idea. Easy as pie.
The task at hand is to build a custom wrecking wrecking ball, the same dimensions as the one in the clip, but weighing in at a realistic 5,000 pounds.
So you're starting to get the picture?
It's a unique manufacturing assignment the Heinemann is tackling in his own unique way.
There are a lot of different ways of making a big, heavy ball, but the quickest and easiest way I know of to do it would be with steel-reinforced concrete. Now, to do that, you need a mold, and I've come up with an idea of creating what amounts to a hemispherical-shaped auger that I can chuck onto the back of some earth-moving equipment and dig 2 hemispherical holes right in the ground.
It looks like it might sort of just make it.
Pour our concrete in there around a steel armature, let it cure, put them together, and you got a ball. One big-ass heavy ball.
Yet, to make 2 hemispherical